guys, this presentation is on H.G. Wells. Just who was he anyway? Well, he was born September 1st, 1866, and died August 13th, 1946. So about 100 years ago. He was a man ahead of his time. He anticipated wars in the air, the sexual revolution. He even envisioned motorized transport causing the growth of suburbs and a proto-internet he called the world brain. He envisioned that world wars would create a federalized Europe, but Britain, he thought, wouldn't fit very comfortably in this new Europe and would identify more with the US and other English-speaking countries. So if Europe became all one country, Britain wouldn't want to be a part of it, which is really interesting considering the newly ratified Brexit. Also in his novel, The World Set Free, he imagined an atomic bomb of terrifying power that would be dropped from airplanes. This was also an extraordinary insight for an author writing in 1913 because the first atomic bomb wasn't dropped until 1945. Wells was an avid proponent of Darwin's survival of the fittest. He believed that white people were the fittest and most everyone would be done away with in one way or another, whether through natural selection or artificial selection if they didn't fit the mold. So we'll see in the middle of the 20th century, very soon after most of Wells' writings, Hitler attempts to accomplish this artificial selection of the so-called superior race using Darwin's idea, the ideas endorsed by Wells. This may seem too hard to believe, but here's a quote, a bit condensed, from H.G. Wells himself. "And how will the new republic treat the inferior races? How will it deal with those swarms of black and brown and dirty white and yellow people who do not come into the new needs of efficiency? Well, the world is a world, not a charitable institution, and I take it they will have to go. The whole tenor and meaning of the world as I see it is that they have to go. So far as they fail to develop sane, vigorous, and distinctive personalities for the great world of the future, it is their portion to die out and disappear." Wow. Beyond that, he did say a few wise things that are maybe worth considering. Some of the quotes that I found that I liked were, "If you fell down yesterday, stand up today. The crisis of today is the joke of tomorrow. And advertising is legalized lying." As far as what we've read from H.G. Wells, we're just going to summarize book 2. In book 2, the narrator and the curate are trapped in a house for a few days because the Martians are camped outside the house. They're in that hole. These two men grow to really hate each other. The narrator observes the Martians and he discovers a lot about them. For example, they survive off blood, which is why they went after humans. So eventually the Martians catch the curate, who has been knocked out by the narrator. And several days later, after the Martians leave the area, the narrator comes out of the hole in the ground and he discovered that the world is much stranger than he left it. It's pretty much destroyed and covered in red Martian weed. So then traveling on, the narrator runs into the artilleryman who tells him all about his plan for a new lifestyle, like living underground, playing cricket, killing Martians every now and then. This interests the narrator, but he eventually decides not to follow suit because the artilleryman is all talk. Well, he finally makes his way to London, which he discovers is a big mess, and he finds that the Martians are all dead. They died from some bacteria or disease that humans are immune to. And happily, he finds his wife again. And it ends with him thinking about how the Martian invasion has made people rethink some of the things that they thought that they knew.